we go. It's a Wednesday. We are live. We're in Chicago. It is The Herd, wherever you may be and however you may be watching or listening. Thanks for making us part of your day. John Middlekauff and I here again in tow. So I sat last night, John, and I watched several episodes of the Jerry Jones Netflix special, The Gambler America's Team. Highly entertaining. Took a few notes. I know that's dorky, but I had to take some notes here. And it is wild. First of all, it's another example. We saw this with The Last Dance with Michael Jordan. And we see this with Jerry. When you're creating something special, even if you're Michael Jordan or you have Jimmy Johnson and Troy Aikman, it's hard. It's really, really hard for Michael Jordan all those years getting tackled by the Pistons and the Celtics. But I want to start, John, with what was and what is with the Dallas Cowboys. So let's start with that. So I read a story this morning. Micah Parsons and the Cowboys headed towards a divorce in a messy contract saga. So I'm watching that Netflix special last night, and what is remarkable, Jerry Jones at that point, he was almost broke. He spent every penny on the Dallas Cowboys. Jimmy Johnson told me that. I mean, he spent every penny on the Cowboys, and after the first year, they didn't know if they were going to make it. Was he going to have to sell the team? But he was so aggressive and so decisive and had such a clear plan, Jerry Jones did, that it all worked. He got Aikman and Jimmy Johnson and Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin and Dave Wannstedt, and he was patient. And Jerry's still patient, sometimes too much. But what you noticed with that, Jerry, is the aggressiveness, the decisiveness. He made strong, swift decisions, the Herschel Walker trade, and never looked back. That's not the Cowboys today, where the Dak Prescott or Micah Parsons contracts engulf camp, engulf the team. And as I was watching that, I thought, you know what? You know who the Dallas Cowboys of that era are? They're the Philadelphia Eagles now. The Eagles have a brand. The Eagles have the most aggressive GM. The Eagles occasionally make mistakes, rarely whiff, but they're decisive. They don't look back. If they make a move and they don't like it, they move off it. Carson Wentz immediately. They move off coaches who win Super Bowls. If it's not a good fit today, decisive. Tush push. Saquon Barkley deal. The Eagles today are the Cowboys in the Netflix special. Dallas now is reactive. Dallas then was proactive. Philadelphia now, proactive. They made a deal 3 days ago. They're always making deals. And yet the Micah Parsons contract saga appears it's not going to end well. You knew he was an all-pro as a rookie. Do what the Eagles do. Sign him early or trade him and get a fortune. But the Dak, I saw a headline this morning, the Cowboys negotiating tactics have probably cost them approximately $100 million. Think about this. Dak Prescott's cap hit currently is bigger than A.J. Brown, Saquon Barkley, and Jalen Hurts combined. They don't get deals anymore. Philadelphia gets deals. Philadelphia's always making moves. Philadelphia's decisive. Philadelphia's got a running play they invented. That used to be Jerry. Remember when he pushed back on the NFL on like a Pepsi deal and the NFL wanted to sue him? And I mean, Jerry just didn't Herschel Walker move, buy this oil well, buy this football team, fire Tex Schramm, fire the late, great Tom Landry. Didn't pause. That's business. 100 miles an hour. And Jerry knew as an oil catter, a maverick, that you're not going to go 100 for 100. But it didn't stop him. Now there's video out there, him acknowledging, yeah, I don't have the guts to do what the Rams did with Goff and Stafford. I could not do that. Young Jerry could. I strongly suggest you watch it because I just couldn't stop thinking, those Cowboys, that's the Eagles now. Kind of the envy of the league. We all go like, yeah, they're a little crazy up in Philadelphia. I don't know if Nick Sirianni's the guy. That's what they were saying about Jimmy Johnson first couple years. Hey, he's crazy. That Jimmy Johnson guy's crazy. Crazy smart. So, I mean, it was amazing to watch how charismatic the Cowboys were and how they lack an identity today. I don't even know what they are. But Jerry, and he has always been a showman. His dad was, cool story. He is on the red carpet for this show. For Jerry, the one thing that remains a constant, he knows the lights are on and he wants to perform.
I do believe if we're not being looked at, then I'll do my part to get us looked at. Oh, it's wonderful to have the great athletes, have the great players, but there's something more there. There's sizzle, there's emotion, and if you will, there's controversy. And that controversy is good stuff in terms of keeping and having people's attention.
Yeah, we're watching. You got our attention. We just don't like the results. All right, so I haven't talked to Aaron Rodgers for a few days. It's about time. It's Wednesday. So Aaron Rodgers is not going to play in the preseason finale. I'm okay with it. He's sitting the preseason for second straight year. He's not playing. But it's a little different this year. Because if you look at the early schedule for Pittsburgh, first game, Aaron Glenn, defensive guy, Jets. Next game, Mike McDonald, Seahawks. Third game, Mike Vrabel, defensive guy. Fourth game, best defensive coordinator in the league, in my opinion, Brian Flores. And he's not taking a preseason snap. He had an abbreviated offseason. So he's never taken a snap with DK Metcalf. He's never taken a live snap with Arthur Smith. PFF rates the offensive line at 21st. And for whatever reason, blame who you want, the Steelers have not consistently run the ball for about 6 years, maybe 8. And that's Aaron's reality. So I do think Pittsburgh needs to get off to a hot start. Because in Aaron Rodgers' career, there has always been one statistic. There has always been one statistic that is hard to figure out. Aaron Rodgers has the 6th most quarterback starts of all time. Yet he is tied for 25th in fourth quarter comebacks. Peyton Manning, 43. Marino Elway in the 30s. He has fewer than Derek Carr, Ryan Tannehill, Andy Dalton. Well, his teams didn't trail a lot. Did Peyton Manning's? Did Marino and Elway's? So why does Aaron need to start quickly? Because I've always used that stat, and it belies what I've always thought to be true. Aaron's personality changes based on the score and his performance in games. One of the things I loved about Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, Patrick Mahomes, and Tom Brady, they do not give a rip if they've got 2 pick sixes in the first quarter. They'll play their arse off. They are foxhole guys. They are ballers. They don't care. In-game performance does not change their personality. Sometimes I'd watch Andrew Luck or Peyton Manning after a really bad pick, and I'd be like, guys, you may want to scale back a little on the aggressiveness. That's not who Peyton was. That's not who Andrew Luck was. Aaron's different. Aaron gets dark. He gets moody. His demeanor changes. His facial expressions change. He'll throw the ball away. He in-game pouts. That's what describes an otherwise inexplicable stat. 25th all-time in fourth quarter comebacks. He's got the 6th most starts. Is that if Aaron's not playing well, he's trailing late, he kind of bails. And if you look at this schedule is defense, 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 elite defensive coaches, and he's never taken a live snap with DK Metcalf, Arthur Smith. It's not a good O-line. So I'm not saying he should play. I don't have a problem with him not playing. But I didn't love the abbreviated offseason. And I don't love at 41 years old, he no longer has the talent to bulldoze mediocre teammates. And Pittsburgh offensively has got some mediocre guys. So Mike Tomlin says he's totally comfortable with Aaron Rodgers not taking a snap in the preseason.
I'm comfortable with what I'm seeing out here. Obviously, if I weren't, I would be playing them. Everyone else is under consideration. They're preparing as if they're going to play. There are a lot of variables in it, who's playing for Carolina and things of that nature that might provide worthy competition. But as I sit here today, all healthy outside of the four that I mentioned are preparing and scheduled to play.
41-year-old, shaky O-line, no run game, never taken live snaps in a game with the OC or DK Metcalf. And by the way, Aaron's a good-looking guy, and I have said before, the league is more interesting with Aaron Rodgers playing than not playing. I don't think Pittsburgh's a good fit. I didn't necessarily think the Jets was a good fit. Deep down, I was rooting for him to go to Minnesota or San Francisco, but the Niners like Brock Purdy, and J.J. McCarthy was drafted, so it didn't happen. But I'll say one thing. That cannot be the last helmet he wears. If you're watching me on television, you see this picture. That helmet is so outsized, I can see the shadows inside the helmet. He looks like a small plane parked in a Delta hangar. Somebody get that helmet fixed for Aaron Rodgers. See that thing right behind me? That cannot be the last picture of Aaron Rodgers. Tighten it up, Steelers. You can't get the run game right. At least get the helmet right for Aaron Rodgers. Okay, John, yesterday we had some fun on the show where we took the Bears schedule. I tried to be optimistic, and I said, life's about happiness, is about expectations. So if you really look at the schedule for the Bears, if they go 9-8, you should actually come out of the season and feel pretty darn good. That probably means you split with your division. We're going to do that with another team today, and we're not going to be as positive because this is my going downhill fast franchise. So don't go anywhere. We've got a lot going on today and an update with Caleb Williams and the Bears.